Rachel White is a cocktail waitress at a truck stop strip club in an interstate cowtown in Central California. As her life spirals out of control, poverty and paranoia force her to make a string of increasingly desperate decisions. Decisions that will lead her to the Hell Patrol, a paramilitary organization of hot rod driving mercenaries that hunt demons for fame and fortune. This is Hell Patrol Origins. Alright, let's go. Chapter 5. Pardon me. Johnny put his arm around Rachel's waist, drawing her close. She felt a little safer pressed up against his chest, but she felt a lot safer with her hand free, ready to reach for the gun in her purse. They started walking down the street. "If I find that little rat-faced fuckboy, I'll take a bat to his elbows and knees and run his fucking pockets," Johnny grumbled. "Oh, so when he wanted to date rape me and cut me up for a skin dress, you wanted to do everything straight, but now that he's fucked with your car, you want to do hood shit?" Rachel asked. "No, it's not like that. That was inside the club. There were cameras, legal shit, the club's insurance. This is outside on the street. I'll fold a fucking trash can lid in half and force feed him an aluminum taco full of rusty nails and dirty diapers," Johnny said. "That's disgustingly creative and violent. And I'd kind of like to see it," Rachel noted. "Yeah, well, be careful what you wish for," Johnny said. They crossed the street and were walking in front of the Hell Patrol office on the way home. Rachel saw the recruiter and the greaser tiefling in the leather jacket that she had seen before. They were standing out front, talking over cigarettes. On the curb, there was a beat-up old muscle car that Rachel had never seen before. She wasn't sure what it was, partly because she had never seen a car like it, and partly because it was kicked to shit. The paint and bodywork were scratched and dented to hell, as if the car had been driven in a demolition derby, and then the dents were pounded out of it poorly, and then it was driven in a demolition derby again. The whole thing looked like crumpled up tinfoil painted with a Sharpie marker. There were some kind of machine guns on the hood. A large police-style bump bar protected the grille, and the windows were covered with some kind of fencing that she had seen on cars in old zombie apocalypse movies. As they walked towards them, the recruiter pointed them out to the tiefling. "Hey Henry, check it out. Here comes the girl I was telling you about. What happened to your wheels, girl?" The greaser tiefling turned to face Rachel and Johnny, smiling. He had a pompadour hairstyle and was smoking Marlboros, wearing jeans and a black leather jacket that had a bunch of red and black bladed. Sorry. I'm going to start that whole sentence. Wearing jeans and a black leather jacket that had a bunch of red and black braided ropes dangling from one shoulder. The signature uniform jacket of the Hell Patrol. He held his hand out to shake. Johnny took it, and then Rachel. "Heard you guys had a shit-hot 69 GTO, Henry the greaser tiefling said. "Yeah, in the parking lot down the street at the strip club. Some asshole slashed my tires," Johnny said. "Not just any asshole, my stalker," Rachel added. "Rough deal. Sorry to hear about that. Guys that fuck with cars belong in the deepest and darkest layer of hell," Henry nodded. "What kind of car is that? I've never seen one like it," Rachel asked. The recruiter nodded. "What'd I tell you, Henry? She's a car girl." "It's a Holden Monaro," Henry said. "Holding my what?" Rachel asked. "Monaro. It's Australian. I had to import it. Right-hand drive and everything. Check it out," He put the key in the door, opened it, showed Rachel and Johnny the inside of the car. The interior was ripped out and replaced with a safety cage and a pair of racing seats with a 4-point harness. "That's pretty badass. It's a Hell Patrol car, right?" Johnny asked. "It ain't just any Hell Patrol car, my man. It's my Hell Patrol car. Spent a good stack of cash to get it shipped across the pond, but hey, you gotta drive your dream car before you die, right?" Henry said. "So, you've, killed demons and shit with it?" Johnny asked. "Fuck yeah, brother. Ran the fuckers over and got it all on the gun cameras. Dinged up the paint, of course, but hey, that comes with the job. Best fucking day of my life," Henry said, pointing to the small cameras wired to the sights on the machine guns bolted to the hood. "I wish I was in a car like this when that fucking creep was following us last night," Rachel said. "Y'all having a problem with that? Vandalizing your car? Harassing you? You got protection, right?" Henry asked, opened his jacket, and flashed the butt of a gun in an underarm holster. "You can hold a concealed piece? Is that legal?" Rachel asked. "Shit, girl, I'm in Hell Patrol. We can hold all kinds of shit, long as it's for killing demons. Guns on the car are locked and loaded too. The safety is wired in from a switch on the dash," Henry explained. "Illegal shit too. Shit that not even the humans ain't allowed to have. We get all the military nutcrackers, if that's your thing." "We'll make it home okay," Johnny said, squeezing Rachel reassuringly. "Yeah, I wouldn't fuck with you either," Henry smiled. "Y'all stay safe tonight. These streets are scary." Henry got in the car, turned it on, and drove up the street. "He can drive that? Here? With all the guns and shit on it?" Rachel asked. "It's his car. As long as the safety's on and he's got his Hell Patrol ID, cops won't bother him," the recruiter said. "He can just tear ass down the street in his freaking zombie movie car?" Johnny asked. "Shit, I want a badass zombie movie car," Rachel said. The recruiter smiled, stubbed out his cigarette butt, and pointed to the giant Hell Patrol sign painted in white block letters on the side of the building. "Anytime you're ready, you can come right in and pick yours up." "Isn't Hell Patrol really dangerous?" Johnny asked. "Don't people die and shit?" "It's war, son. But did Henry look like he was afraid of anything? That boy was a ditch digger when he walked into my office. Now he's got more cash than he knows what to do with, running around in imported Australian cars," the recruiter said. "Hell Patrollers are private military contractors. They own their own cars, their own guns, their own toys. We just tell them where to find the action and sign the checks." "We'll see," Rachel said. She nudged Johnny. They kept walking. "Are you really thinking about doing that?" Johnny asked. "Maybe. I get closer to walking in that door every time I walk past it," Rachel said. "You know you could die," Johnny said. "Or I could serve cocktails to strip club creeps trying to date rape me for the rest of my life," Rachel said. "I'm just saying." "Johnny, maybe you can quit being a bouncer and go be somebody, but tieflings can't. We're third-class citizens. The girls become waitresses and whores, and the boys become janitors and gangbangers. Nobody wants us. I know girls on the street right now that are there because the orphanage lost their papers and they can't get real jobs." Johnny didn't have an answer for that. They kept walking and passed the liquor store. The gang tieflings were out front loitering, wearing their white t-shirts in colors. Rachel noticed the one that sold her the gun, the one that got roughed up by the cops earlier. He had some bruises on his arm and face. He probably spent the night in the drunk tank and was in a fight. They kept walking. The garage was closed, but there was a single beat-up old sedan sitting in the parking lot. Rachel noticed that there was a figure in the car, a tiefling, head thrown back on the headrest, horns pointed to the headliner. He was the grease monkey that worked there. He either had nowhere to go, or he had fallen asleep in his car exhausted after his shift. They kept walking. They passed 8th Street, and Rachel noticed that Alex wasn't on the street. That either meant that she had finally gotten her last car and disappeared, the way hookers did, or she was around the corner and down the block in her motel room, servicing a John or a crooked cop. Rachel hoped she was safe. They got to her apartment without incident. There was no sign of the stalker tonight. Uncharacteristic of him, but he might have been laying low after Johnny caught him and put the cops on his trail. Maybe he was just taking a break, planning his next move. Rachel opened the door and threw her purse down. Johnny walked in and shut and locked the door behind him. "I don't have a lot of food. I usually go grocery shopping on my day off. You want to order a pizza? I'll buy," Rachel said. "Can you afford it?" Johnny asked. "More than you. I don't have to buy a new set of tires." "Fair enough. At least you actually got a normal shift worth of tips tonight since we got rid of that fucker," Johnny said. Rachel dialed up the all-night pizza place and ordered the food. She put the phone down on the kitchenette table, looked at the 2 little chairs, then her mattress on the floor. She realized she didn't exactly have the furniture to entertain guests. Johnny stood in the middle of the studio, himself not exactly sure of where or what to relax on. "They said they'll be about a half hour," Rachel said. "All things considered, I'm in a pretty good mood, I guess. I actually made money tonight. You almost killed that guy and then called the cops on him, and he didn't follow me home tonight." "Yeah, except for my tires, it was a pretty great shift. You got a TV?" Johnny asked. "No, and those are the only chairs," Rachel gestured to the kitchenette. "I can see how something like Hell Patrol could look like an option when you're living like this," Johnny shrugged. "It's not bad. It's a shithole, but it's my place, and nobody tells me what to do, and I don't have roommates. I'm barely getting by." She walked across the room back towards Johnny. "You want to kill some time while we wait for that pizza?" Johnny didn't bother to answer. He grabbed her by the shoulders and threw her down on the mattress. Rachel gasped. She heard his belt unbuckle, felt his hands on the waistband of her jeans, yanking them down around her thighs. Her ass and her tail were exposed to the room up in the air. She felt his strong fingers on her back, his presence behind her. She arched her back, angled her hips, felt him on top of her. He spread her, and YouTube! Bump. Okay. Rachel bites a pillow. Fingers in her mouth. Okay, hold on. Yeah, sorry. Again, sex scene again. I'm afraid of reading the sex scenes on YouTube. We've discussed this. But again, something plotty is about to happen in the plot. So let's find the spot here. She was about to feel the grace of God inside of her until suddenly Johnny's stroke stopped and his grip on her hair slackened. She felt him let go of her hair, and then felt his hand brushing aside the part in her hairline around her horn. "Why did you stop?" Rachel asked. "When did you get this tattoo?" Johnny asked. "I don't have any tats. I can't afford it. What are you talking about?" "Rachel, there's some kind of birthmark or tattoo in your scalp, behind the base of your right horn," Johnny said. "If it's in the blind spot in my scalp behind the horn, I've never seen it. It's not like I can afford to go to a salon or anything, and someone has told me about it before," Rachel said. "So you've never seen it?" Johnny assumed. "No. Can it wait until you finish?" Rachel asked. "I mean, maybe. I've never seen this before, and it's not the first time I've stared at the back of your head. It doesn't look like a birthmark, Rachel. It looks like a tattoo," Johnny said. He reached around, found his cell phone, and snapped a picture of it, then handed the phone to Rachel to look at it. She threw the phone across the mattress without even looking at it. "If it's not going to stop you from performing, I'll look at it later." "I'm good, but do you know if it's weird demon shit?" Johnny asked. "It probably is, knowing me, but I don't want to think about that right now. I was almost there when you stopped," Rachel said. "If it's there now, it's not going anywhere." Johnny's fingers went back into her mouth, and then his YouTube was YouTubing again. Fucking. Here we go. I got saved by the pizza man. Conveniently, there was a knock on the door about 2 minutes after Johnny finished up. Wow, how convenient. He threw a blanket over Rachel while she was lying on the mattress, found her purse and paid the pizza man out of the tips she made that night, then brought the food back to the mattress. You know, you'd be a perfect boyfriend if you were actually boyfriend material, Rachel said, as he pushed a paper plate with a slice in front of her. Who says I'm not boyfriend material? Johnny asked. The fact that you're boyfriend material for every girl at Hellhole, Rachel said. Ghetto bird. I'm waiting for this helicopter to fly over the hood. Ah, yes. Not recording in a soundproof room. Okay, sorry. Well, you're not an exception, he laughed and took a slice. Besides, I'm getting one step closer. Valerie might retire from the rotation. Really? Since when? Rachel asked. I think she's getting more serious about actually picking up Tin Man. He seems like a pretty good dude, and he's on the government dole for life. It'd be a good deal for her if he put a ring on it, Johnny said. Well, I guess every cloud has a silver lining. They're perfect for each other. Valerie's actually a really nice girl, and Tin Man got his fucking legs blown off defending humanity in the war. He deserves a hot nymphomaniac that wants to fuck 3 times a day, Johnny said. Maybe there is justice in this world. Maybe you'll find my stalker in a dark alley and break his kneecaps, Rachel said. Not even lying. Right now it would be totally worth the cost of those tires. That fucker, Johnny said. Hey, do you think maybe you should get up and take a look at that weird demon tattoo on your head? I mean, I've never seen that on any tiefling girl before. What if that's like the demonic version of cancer or some shit? Well, that depends. Are you going to be good to go for another round after pizza? Rachel asked. Yeah, Johnny said. Then it can wait. What's it look like anyway? Rachel asked. Like a weird Lego brick in a circle. Maybe we can look it up on the internet or something. What was that book about demons in the Bible? Johnny asked. There's a book about demons in the Bible? Yeah, there's some book by King Solomon or something. He was God's favorite king or some shit, so God gave him all this magical power and he was able to trap and enslave demons to build his castle for him or something. He wrote this whole book about the names and the signs of all the demons he had captured, like Pokemon. Dude was like a Pokemon master, but for fucking demons, Johnny explained. You think I have a tattoo of a Lego brick from a biblical Pokemon on my head, Rachel reiterated. Yeah, it sounds stupid the way I said it, but it's there, Johnny shrugged. Yeah, well, that can definitely wait till after sex. Are you sure? I'm not really sure about anything, except for the fact that my father is a mass-murdering rapist from hell and I don't want anything to do with him, Rachel said. He did give you a first-class ass. I hope that came from my mother, Rachel replied. Alright, the Chapter 5 recap. Maybe the shortest chapter in the story. No thanks to me censoring the sex scenes for YouTube. Anyways, let's talk about the recap. So, while they're walking home from Hellhole, they pass the Hell Patrol office, and we finally get to actually meet Henry, whose full name is Henry Winks. We never actually hear his last name in the story. I'm just telling you guys that for the sake of complacency and the people that are invested in the lore. Henry's last name is Winks, but like I literally never write his last name anywhere in the book. It's like literally something that I have to tell you. It was in the notes, but it didn't actually make it into the story. Anyways, so Henry is a veteran Hell Patroller. He's been a Hell Patroller for a while. He's successful. He's good at it. He's wealthy. So wealthy that he was actually able to import his dream car from Australia to America and drive it as a Hell Patrol car. His car is a 1972 Holden Monaro HQ. And we're going to find out later why Henry loves this car so much. But if you happen to be a fan of certain films that involve the post-apocalypse and weaponized vehicles, you should be able to guess why Henry loves the Monaro. But we'll get into that. Okay, so Rachel learns that Hell Patrollers can carry concealed weapons and that cops don't mess with them. You can imagine why this could be very, very appealing to Rachel. Okay, so after they talk to Henry and the recruiter, they get back to Rachel's apartment, which doesn't have a lot of things to do for entertainment, or for that matter, even furniture to sit on, so they get right down to business while they wait for the pizza man. And then the pizza man comes in and saves my ass from the YouTube police, because of course we were censoring our sex scenes again. Anyways, as is the case with the sex scenes in this story, most of them are not random. They are not just me writing erotica for the sake of writing erotica. Just like the first time we had a sex scene where Johnny found something on Rachel's body, it happened again. But this is new. This is completely new. While pulling her hair, Johnny discovers a demonic sigil in Rachel's scalp. He finds the mark of the beast on her. And like I said, this is new. This is something he would have seen before in one of their previous sex sessions if it was there before, because I know you guys can't see it because I'm not reading it for YouTube, but they fuck rough. They're kinky. So there has been light bondage. There has been hair pulling. There has been biting and spanking and bruising. They're into the good stuff. So if it was there before, Johnny would have found it. Anyways, it's new and it's there now. And Johnny does find it, and he describes the sigil as looking like a Lego brick. Now, if you're into demonology and you know the sigils of the various lords of hell, I can tell you right now, I won't spoil it, but there's only one that could be remotely described as a Lego brick, so you can probably figure it out. Now, let's talk about what's going to happen in Chapter 6. Chapter 6 is a very, very big chapter. It is pivotal. This is an important point in the story. I don't want to spoil anything, but a new arc is coming. And we're going to get into... Actually, we're going to get into demonology. We're going to start getting more and more into biblical demonology, which is going to be fun, because we're actually going to find out more about how the war with hell ended and how humanity managed to defeat the demons, which we've hinted at and was mentioned briefly in conversation. We know from previous conversations that have happened in the story, I'll just give you guys a refresher, that Mephistopheles betrayed Asmodeus and sided with the humans, and in exchange for betraying Asmodeus and brokering peace with hell, the Vatican allowed Mephistopheles and his loyalists into purgatory to obviously escape the wrath of the other demons that were gonna come looking for him after he betrayed the rest of hell. So that is literally all we know about the Hell War right now. We know that it ended when Mephistopheles sided with the humans by betraying Asmodeus. So we're going to learn more demonology in the next chapter. Who's going to be in the next chapter? We're going to talk more to Henry, I think. Alex is gonna come back. What else can I say without spoiling shit for you guys? Are we gonna meet? No. That's chapter 7. All right. I'm done talking. No more spoiling. Thanks for listening. Come back for the next chapter of Hell Patrol. We're gonna do more military kind of shit, more car shit, and more demon shit. Let's get into the fucking goth biblical demon crap. Fuck yeah. It's witch time. Alright. Oh, and is somebody gonna get shot? Oh yeah. Yeah. Get excited. Somebody's gonna get shot.